in Benin right now. Maybe somebody came and you just said, okay, you can live here, and the person decided to take over the place. The next 20 years, the son will tell you he's the owner of that place. We have issues already in a lot of places in Benin that people are still dragging today, that the person, what happened is that maybe your father asked his family member and said, you can stay there, but it's my place, but you can stay there. Then before you know it, that one will stay there for 20, 40 years. Before you know it, his son will take over and said it's his father's property. That is what will happen in many communities in Edo. Those places that we are leaving behind, that they are village, that they are, oh no, we are no longer village people, that festivals doesn't matter anymore, people will take over that place. They will live there. They will create their own festival and start their own festival. And that place will become their place. Their children will enrich there and call it their father's land. So, if you know that your community shouldn't end up like that, participate in supporting, try and support festivals so that you can still have a little bit of ownership. Yes, it's changed forever, but we know that big cities are always like that. All over the world, big cities do change. Benin City is a big city, even if it's an ancient city. But what I will advise that it should be we the Beninese that will try as much as possible to control the place, at least 80% ownership. But if we play the I don't care game like we used to play, like living our village and different communities and we don't think about it, we just leave it and said, the other foreigners can be there. Any tribe, if we continue to do that, yes, they can be there. But if we continue, we should also know that in the next 30 years, their family, their children, is going to be the owner of those communities. We have to accept it. If you agree in your community that, okay, no problem, then it's okay. That is if you decide that you're not going to have any community in the future, that your children will not have community, and you let others take over and start doing their own festivals, while your own traditional festival is evil, is not going with the Christianity way of life. Now you know. So that's what I have to say to that. Because many villages, our people are not there. Foreigners have taken over it. We will not have the strength to drag all these things later. Oh, that's my opinion. That's why I'm suggesting that let's use festivals in keeping our community. We can use festivals in keeping those places. When you support festivals in different communities, you are kind of saying this, creating boundaries with festival. You're promoting the heritage so that it doesn't just go like that. So please, if your community, normally you have yearly festival, support it. It doesn't need that you need to be there to support festival. Support the festival. If you want it to come out, call us to come and record your festivals. Just with a little bit of support, we are there in your community to bring out any heritage thing. Use those festivals in creating boundaries. If you don't do it like that, many communities now, if you even go there now, nothing is happening there. There are a lot of foreigners there. Before you know, they will be the one to decide. It's not when they find gold or oil in your community. That is when you will run there and start dragging that to torment him. By the time a lot of people have taken over your place, now you're locked. So try and support festivals, because festivals are ways of having that ownership, claiming places. It's very important. So that is, and what is festivals for? Is also for the preservation of culture. Meaning that if, for example, I grow up with festivals, you know, those festivals is the way that our people normally tell we this is what happens. Those are the ways that we pass out those information and said, this is how we do it. But if you don't do festivals, how will you pass out that information? That culture, that traditions, how are you going to pass it? You will not have any way of passing those things to another generation. that means that it's gone. Ofone. So if you want your community heritage to continue, support festivals. Because festivals are the only method of transferring things from one generation to another. That is the only thing you can use to show people or show your young ones, the youth, where we always I remember when I was growing up, the question was, then Yahweh, somebody will tell you, Yahweh. There's nothing wrong with asking, because that is the process. The process, somebody have to teach you. You're not born with it. They teach you. Even when kings are born, they also take them through the process. My way. You are a king. This is how your ancestors have been doing it. This is how they did it. This is what they did. And that child will learn and learn, all learn with area way. And that in almost everything in life, someone has to teach you that this is how I made it. Yes, you can select the good one and say the bad one that is not that good. You have your own mind to think about it and say, no, this one is not nice. But the part of the festivals, the process of that learning, we should support it. Because festivals